And I think some of it just with regards to digital asset stuff is it's almost top down versus bottom up enforcement. Like we in sort of traditional world, we don't have the technology to follow money around on a dollar by dollar basis. Like
Yep.
a certain amount, we can uncover accounts and we can get swift reconciliations and that stuff. But there's so many places where it sort of drops off the grid. It goes into cash. There's 10
Yeah.
hold codes buried in complexity. Shell companies, all of that stuff. And there's a huge business around kind of financial crimes and sort of peeling all of that stuff apart. And so I think we generally try and simplify it by being like by trying to profile actors instead, saying, okay, if you send $9,999 when there's a $10,000 limit over and over again every day, then you must be doing something bad, so you're going to be
Yep.
high risk.
Yeah.
Whereas, and it's sort of this top-down approach because it's like it's too complex to go anything deeper than that. You need to sort of hack it. And in crypto land, it's almost the other way around, where okay, like each dollar can be traced around, and it's like that was a bad wallet. It came from there, so this is bad. And so if you kind of go that route and say, and the top down approach has very little privacy, right? Everybody needs to step into the light. Everybody needs to identify themselves and say, hey, I'm this person. The other route, when you go from kind of bottom up, if you're never transacting with any bad addresses, if you're doing everything that matches that, like, do you need to go that entire route? Do you need to sort of step all the way in? And we kind of have this unofficial threshold in traditional world right now, where under $1,000 or under a certain threshold, you don't need to report it. It just is what it is. It's basically a simulation of a petty cash transaction, and regulators have kind of implicitly or explicitly said, hey, under a certain amount, we're okay with privacy. And that's my worry about digital asset world is because you can now have that extreme transparency, are we going to just layer on the top down approach onto the bottoms up approach and have an individual known every cent and dollar that they spend, where you sort of need to choose one to preserve some level of societal hands-offness or whether it's privacy, and that's always a loaded word, but some sort of kind of functional structure. So somebody at some point needs to choose to ignore on-chain transactions if we're going to continue to go the top-down route. And that's really hard. But that's one of the things that's a bit scary about CBDCs is